Good evening, welcome to another episode of Crime Pays at Botany Desert. Today we're out here fiddly fucking around in the Baja Desert, the Baja California desert, but it certainly doesn't feel like a desert right now. It's so lit up, it's so lovely, it smells incredible, the insects are happy. But we're here to check out some late Cretaceous petrified wood, some petrified lags, maybe see if there's some other plant material, because the paleobotanist in me is so curious what those ecosystems might have looked like. Now, late Cretaceous, of course, is the time period roughly 87 million years ago. It takes place before the comet slammed into the Yucatan and ruined the time for the dinosaurs, but also leading to the possibilities for us mammals, you know, to get busy doing our thing, evolving and diversifying and radiating, etc. But, you know, I'm really curious what those ecosystems look like. Angiosperms had only been around for 40 million years, 50 million years max, maybe a little bit longer. Anyway, the point is, we're going to check out some of the stuff growing here, and we're going to look at some of these deposits and see if we can find a petrified log or two. Really lit up this time of year. You can tell they've gotten a lot of rain. And Ambrosia chenopodiifolia is doing exceptionally well and is basically dominating the landscape here. This little guy, what the shit? You're doing so well for yourself. You know, you got a monopoly. Wind pollinated Asteraceae. Does kind of look like an triplex. I can see why it got that species epithet. Those monster cacti over there. That's always nice to see. Look at the filaments. Hairy filaments. White anthers, you get those 5 spots. 5 petals. Look like they're fused at the base, little nectar. You can see the ovary in there. Maybe I could see what the type of fruit this thing was. Those leaves are growing in an odd spot. Of course, you got a Rhodium secutarium there. Fucking invasive. We were seeing the native one. Could it be a Phacelia? Looks, maybe it's a type of Phacelia. You know, I am out of my element. It's been 5 years since I've been in these deserts, but still. I didn't see this. With that curly Q cyme structure, yeah, Boraginaceae, it's a Phacelia. You got Eulobus back there. Onagraceae evening primrose family. Been seeing plenty of that guy. One of the damn popcorn flowers, the cryptanthus. But all annuals, except for that Eriogonum. And I guess the ambrosia is a perennial too. You get a handful of perennial shrubs and then a lot of annuals going off. Yeah, chia's everywhere too. This little salvia. Grouped together in little verticillasters. Look at the texture of the leaves too. Very papillose. Almost bullate. Now I feel really bad. Look, it's a little spider in a trapdoor. I seen this thing poking up like that. I said, what's that? I pulled it out, and then there's a spider in there. It came out that hole. I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. But obviously he's in some stage of development, and now I've ruined it for him. What is he doing in there? He's just a cute little tarantula. I'm sorry, guy. I guess we should cut it open. What do we do now? Can I put him back in there in his little trapdoor? He's beautiful, and he's pissed. Did I just ruin Christmas for this guy? I think I did. Can't you just go back in your home? Do you need the little sack? It was already, you built it on an eroding hillside of you know, Cretaceous marine sediments. It's already, this is not a stable environment to do that, you know, to build your little home, you know. I'll put you back in there. He is good. Look, he's gorgeous though. Look at those. He's all glossy and shimmery. Yeah, that is kind of like a filament. You could see it's just, he built this, instead of spinning a web, he just built this little sack in the ground for himself. That's nice. Look at those giant fangs he's got. How many pedipalps? Where are you? Those are your pedipalps? Is that what that is? Well, go back inside your home. You could go right back in there. See that? We're not trying to mess with you. We want to put you back. I mean, we did ruin your home. I'm sorry, ruined your house. It was an accident, though. How was I supposed to know? Huh? It was. We're going to take some photos, and you can crawl back in your house. We'll build a little rock shelter for you. Not moving. He's not. Now we built him a little shelter, I feel really bad. I feel really guilty about this. See, there's his little look. See, he's got a little trap door. I think we just fucked up Christmas for this trapdoor spider, you know. What are we gonna do, man? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't know. I was just curious. If I'd have known it was a trapdoor spider home, I would have left it alone. That right there is an exceptional stand of cardones. It's so pleasant outside, it's almost misleading. Wonder what the maximum temperatures are here in, say, July. Look at those old bastards. God, that's beautiful. Ah. Oh. Fuck, Louie. I didn't say go down there, Louie. What are you doing? Yet it's some sort of concrete. I don't know what the shit that is. You got all this. It's all mudstone here, and you know we were hoping that was a log sticking out of the. You know, the paleobotanist in me just got a little hot. But how you gonna get out of there, huh? These Cretaceous sediments get everybody excited. What's going on? Little bits of. Nothing completely. Oh, look at this helianthus. Is this a helianthus? Almost looks like an encelia, except look at those filaries. I'm glad we bumped into this because I saw it last night and I didn't get a chance to film it. Look at those elongated filaries, intensely woolly. Is it just an encelia? I collected it and pressed it. I'm going to be taking it to the herbarium, but god damn. This feels like Carrizo Plain, but with the desert element, you know? All these marine mudstones, except in this case, these marine sediments are much older than the ones you get at Carrizo. I hear lots of buzzing. Every goddamn thing I've been seeing, though, is just a feral honeybee, a feral European honeybee. I did just see a cool bee fly, though, with that long proboscis. Looks a little bit like that on one of these chia plants. But anyways, take a little gander down through this canyon. Yeah, it's nice up there, isn't that nice? Got lots of the rounded conglomerate. You jump down here, now you're just taking a break. I don't know, you know, we weren't even gonna come down right away. She just went for it. Got plenty of Mesembryanthemum. Come on, Louie. Oh, was that you? Was that you? You took a shit right here? Of all places? It'll dry out. It'll dry out and turn to dust in no time. No one's coming out here. Well, what's going on here? There's all kinds of interesting stuff. I don't know what that is, but it's locked in there. It's not going nowhere. What a nice day. Look at this. This is all an intact layer of a few layers of strata. This is an old shoreline. Maybe a lagoon at some point. All these muds. You know, it's hard to tell what was going on 70 million years ago, which I think is what some of this stuff's been dated at. I don't know where the hell they went, you know. It's nice. Definitely ocean. It's definitely close to the coast. Back then, I would assume. You know, you gotta watch those guys. They're out there, you know, you're ready to go. Suddenly they're yelping about some damn, you know, new species of Galerina they found growing beneath an ambrosia. One of the ambrosias out here. See, so we got a lot of nice rocks right here. A lot of Cretaceous stuff going on. 70 million years old, late Cretaceous. You can see we've got this divot that just kind of, Jesus Christ, just ends right there. That's sketchy, huh? It just ends. But that's where we can cross. Maybe a little bit further in. Louis, that was not safe. That was not safe protocol. You see that? I wonder if it goes, if there's an underground section too. Anyway, mostly invasive bullshit here that's due to human disturbance. They've been grazing cattle. But up here in these exposures was a report. There's a paper came out, maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, maybe a decade ago, of unidentified, or I think they finally did identify it, but previously undescribed species of tree in Lauraceae, the avocado family. And it does look like you have some really good sedimentary rocks right here. I've not seen too much of that conglomerate stuff that we were seeing everywhere else. God, it's fucking lush. It feels like Central Valley of California, but it's the Baja Desert. Nice Rosarioxylon. Look at that. Where was it? Up there Somewhere there's a Hesperoyucca whipplei in bloom. Yeah, see that? You have to go up there and check that out later. Look at all that selenite. See all the shiny shit up there? That's all gypsum. It's all crystallized gypsum. Ooh, that looks nice. There's some nice stuff up there. What is it? What is this genus? I can't remember. It's all over. It's all over Chile. Is it Calandrinia? It's Caryophyllales is the order. It's Montiaceae. I think it's succulents. You can see it's got the succulent. It's got betaline pigments. Is this a native? Look at the nice speckling on a calyces too. Flowers not open. Little pendant inflorescence. Little succulent bastard. I got some nice stuff up there though. That's where we're going. Taking a majestic beauty. Or the desert, all lit up. Look at the blue dicks, Dicolostum. I think they changed the genus, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need to be concerning ourselves with that. Got the nice Phacelia, got Cryptantha everywhere. We got all kinds of different sediments. We have Alan Rockefeller crouching on the ground, lurking on something. Beautiful Phacelia. Let's ascend this gentle slope of all these eroding and weathering sediments, looking at the selenite crystals on the way up. Breathe with me now. Oh, God. It was at that moment that someone let out a really painful fart. I mean, it was so loud and abrasive. You could hear it. It echoed throughout the room. And all the stiffs shifted in their seat. Look, it's a little selenite knife. Gypsum, calcium sulfate. You know, this is... You put this in a rock shop. They're selling this on Etsy now. God, I feel bad. Almost, no, you know what? I don't even know if I want to go up there. I go, oh, but there's fucking nice rocks up there, it looks like. I just don't want to trample all these little buddies. You know? Ah, shit, whatever. I'll do it anyway. It's fine. Oh, yeah, there's our first little bit of fossil. Don't know what the hell it is. Could it be some sort of weird leaf? There's certainly a imprint of something there. But it makes me hopeful that perhaps there's a bit more. Lots of selenite. Lots of chunks of gypsum. And there we go. There's a piece of petrified lag. Just coming down in the mud. Nice piece of petrified wood. Oh shit, there's a lot here. Actually. Oh wow. Yeah, look at that. What the fuck? What is this? I'm so confused. Is that... It behaves almost... I can't tell. I can't tell its ecology. I don't want to make any presumptions. So the log, wherever this is coming from, is presumably up there. But we got nice selenite. We got some nice petrified lags.
Some pretty good petrified wood here.
Oh yeah? You finding some nice stuff up there?
Yeah, see the grain really well.
So remember, in the late Cretaceous, before that comet slammed into the Yucatan and took out the dinosaurs, the San Andreas Fault didn't exist yet. The Farallon Plate was still doing its thing right off the coast of California, subducting beneath the North American continent. There was no Gulf of California yet. No sea of that prick Cortez. And Baja was still part of the mainland. But you did have the Western Interior Seaway going up through Texas, on up into Colorado. A shallow ocean. Right, tons of mosasaurs and all that other stuff swimming around. Oh wow, I wonder if it's up there. This is, you know, there's a lot more wood up there. That's a selenite, more selenite. It's calcium sulfate. More petrified wood. In situ. Oh, remember, all this stuff just comes out of logs. So there's buried logs. God knows what's buried inside that hill. Got a lot of interesting stuff. Some mudstones, that cool Helianthus or Encilia, whatever it is, with the woolly phyllaries. I guess it's an Encilia. I don't know. Fuck. It's nice. Look at that. That's a huge burst of growth in that Ocotillo. That's all the recent growth of that. And there you can clearly see those petioles that hold those leaf stalks. Will once that leaf falls out, off in a few months, that petiole will harden, turn into a spine, making a nice living for itself there. That looks like marine rock. So somebody's got a nest up there. Hope we're not bumming them out. You know? Oh no, I'm real loud and obnoxious. I probably already did. I probably already bummed them out. Is that peridoli? Yeah, it's peridoli, it looks like. shit. Do this. I don't want to fuck any of this stuff up. I'm gonna be real gentle. Be real gentle. Gentle touch. And this is sandstone. So there's just some sandstone. Oh shit. Yeah, look at a little nest. That's cute. I'm sorry. I hope it's old. I hope he's not currently, we're disturbing him. You know, I can't help it. I just tend to be really annoying. There's a nice lag. Real beautiful exposure. Yeah, so just below that, those are marine sediments. You can, I mean, looks like, especially with all the rounded material there, just sandstone. And then here, this layer, you've got these mudstones, and you got this beautiful log sticking out. I'm not destroying too much habitat coming down here. God damn, that's amazing. 70 million years. No hint of that comet yet. You know? I wonder if this is that species that was mentioned in the paper in the avocado family or what, but oh wow, there's really nice preservation. I'm gonna leave it intact and just take photos because maybe someone will still come out here and study this site. Look at it. Is that bark preserved in there? It's like gypsum infiltrated the cells of the bark. That's nice. There you go. Just jutting out. What else is laying in wait in this hillside to be exposed by the sands of time, the work of time? Probably quite a few more exposures there, but this is the good. Now that we know what's the good layer, we can go look for some more over there as well. Where you go, Louie? Where you going? Jordan just passed this to me from down there. There's another log down there. As you can see, I've seen this before. It's not fully petrified. I've seen dawn redwood preserved in volcanic material in northwest Nevada, and there were still wood fibers in there. It was fucking bizarre. It was only, you know, that in that case it was only half permineralized with silica. This is permineralized with gypsum, it looks like. I posted that stuff online. Some guy got mad. He said, "You're fucking lame." He's like, that's a recent. That redwood only died 100 years ago. Yeah, there was a redwood growing here in the middle of the fucking desert. I don't know. Anyway, but I guess if it's that hard to believe, that makes it all the more cooler. But you could see this texture of this stuff. God, what was this tree like? Oh, I would have loved to botanize the late Cretaceous. What did the leaves look like? What was its ecology? What were its pollinators? Were dinosaurs? You know, did they interact with it at all ecologically? If so, what species? Oh, that's soothing. That's nice. It's so nice out here right now. Perfect temperature. It's like 70 degrees. So there's that nice log, and then right here, just coming on, I'm going up to check out that cool Hesperoyucca about the flower. We got another perennial buckwheat. I must have seen 6 different buckwheat species today, including what I think might be an undescribed one. There's those flowers, 6 petals, 9 stamens. Perennial, not annual, which is notable for the western deserts. And there's those tiny chalky blue leaves covered in trichomes. Oh, that's what I wanted to get. Hesperoyucca whipplei in flower with that pink tinge to it. I wonder if these are moth pollinated as well, like most yucca. Is yucca the sister genus of this? This used to be Yucca whipplei, and then they changed it to Hesperoyucca whipplei because it's pretty notable for a yucca. It's like a yucca trying to be an agave. Monocarpic, produces offsets, just still producing a giant asparagus-like inflorescence. There you go. That's nice. Look at those bracts. Look at those bracts. I just got stabbed in the fucking shin. That's nice. I like it though, you know. I like the pain. As long as it's coming from you. I got a little peduncle coming out of each bract, each peduncle subtended by a bract. This hasn't completely unfurled yet. There's same individual, same plant, but last year's inflorescence, infructescence. Actually, probably a few years. God, it's just a beautiful color though. It just sits there for years cooking up sugars, just like an agave. And then when it's ready to go, boom, it goes off. Let's just open one of these. Is this invasive? This is not consensual, I know that, but this is, just get in there and take a look. Oh, that's nice. Look, you got a green stigma. What the shit, that's nice. Green stigma, 3 carpelled ovary, and those 2 little pollen nodules on each anther. You know, most yuccas are, I think all yuccas are pollinated by moths. Pretty specific relationship they have. Is this the same, or is this, does this get loose and this is willing to go down with anybody, you know? Oh God, that's a lovely fragrance. You know, it smells moth pollinated. Definitely by the smell. It's got that kind of alcohol scent to it, just like a datura or a night blooming cereus or any of those other plants which have co-evolved with moths as pollinators. Jesus, look at that stigma. What the shit is going on there? You got little clear appendages. Oh, that's wild. Haven't seen this plant in probably 5 or 6 years. Haven't been up close and personal with a flower. It smells divine though. Oh, that's intoxicating. Yeah, moth pollinated flowers definitely have a smell to them. Have a specific smell, and you could tell if a plant's co-evolved with moths as the general, you know, as the specific pollinator or one of the predominant pollinators, just by the smell of it, and also by the fact it's got white flowers, open at night, etc. These don't seem to be open during the day. Well, maybe, yeah, it seems like they close during the day. But tonight, look, there's so much, God, they're just so juicy. You got little fly in there too. Maybe he's just getting a little bit of sugars as well. As I stand here perched precariously on this talus slope above a plant that could stab me, I ponder the wonders of moth pollination. I can't get over that stigma, man. That's really something else. Also very distinct anthers, those little pollen nodules. They're not technically pollinia though. Just nodules of pollen that generally have to be stuffed. Like if this were a regular yucca, it'd have to be stuffed inside the stigma, but this doesn't look like it's got an opening. This just looks like it's got those little, maybe sugar-rich hairs for the pollen to germinate. I don't know what's going on. It smells fucking great though. Who studies Hesperoyucca? What are you doing up there? I'm coming. Just be patient. Sun's getting low. See, we went up right there. And then up top, you get more of that conglomerate stuff. This was probably buried beneath the ocean at some point as well. Yeah, that gray stuff is good. You know, you get too high, you get into some of that sandstone. That gray stuff is the layer we're looking. Look at all the lichen on all these rocks, little bits and pieces. Wonder what's down here. Yeah, there's that. It was that Cystanthe or Calendrinia. I think it's Cystanthe. Montiaceae, the bitterroot family. What's this? What's this stuff right here? What's this stuff? Why do you say it like that? It's so like it's a mat or abrasive. Look, you got the selenite everywhere as well. Are there any more lags? You know, God, this must just be so barren. These must just look like badlands if you're here during the summer, you know, or late fall if it hasn't rained in a while, whatever. There's these exposures. No idea what that could be. If that was just a concretion or some organic material. We're looking for a lag. Yeah, beautiful leaf on a dichelostoma on the blue dicks. Can you eat it? I don't know. I don't care. Is it edible? Who gives a shit? It's fucking wonderful. It's a majesty. It's a piece of the ecology. It's an important cog in a machine that keeps the whole living system fucking functioning. Can you eat it? I don't know. All right, go shoplift a candy bar. Jesus Christ. What's over here? See if we got some lags over here. I guess this would be the spot to look, because everything's been washed down. Huh? Sorry, I got distracted by that giant cardone over there. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Already here, look, we got that interesting buckwheat. I don't know what the shit this is. That's the inflorescence. Doesn't produce many leaves on the inflorescence, but it sends it out from the bottom of the plant, and it kind of, just kind of creeps along the ground, and then this will later, it'll send up vegetative leaves like so. But it's very bizarre. You know, it sends out this bit that's mostly, actually, this is the vegetative leaf too. This is the old inflorescence you could see right here. That's from that plant. God, it's such a fucking weird, it's a weird one. Just saw it earlier today. So you get these vegetative parts, you won't get flowers on this, but then it'll send out a little stalk that just creeps along the ground, forming this net-like, see, this is last year's, this net-like branching structure, and flowers, just tiny flowers through there. Eriogonum, of course, is extremely species rich, on, especially on weird geologies like we have here. So being that these are mostly barren hills, I feel it is an important time to mention that these plants are all annuals. That is, they do the annual habit. So, you know, most of the time, most of their life, they're just existing as seeds in the soil seed bank. And when they get enough moisture, they germinate, boom, do their thing. Within a span of 3 to 4, maybe 5 months max, they're done. They produce a prodigious amount of seed, and the material is all dead and crispy, and then the seeds just lay in wait for the next decent rain. And the annual habit is very popular in the deserts among Earth's plant life, at least in this very dry desert where the summer, you don't get summer rain. It's mostly winter rain, summer dry. Some of the California deserts and down here in Baja, but these are all annual species. Oh, that perennial buckwheat, that perennial eriogonum, those luscious leaves. Except this one, oh yeah, that one's in flower a little bit. A little tiny flower coming off. Not much else petrified wood or anything really decipherable fossiliferously. All these muds. What are muds? What are calcium carbon? Is it calcium carbonate muds? There's Al. I wondered where he went. He's probably finding some good stuff. You know, he normally does that. You know, we got a nice rapport. And he's able to tolerate me, which is, I mean, a feat unto itself. The California floristic province. We've been seeing what California must have looked like 300 years ago, you know, before it was super developed. I mean, there's disturbance here, but Mexico didn't fuck this habitat into a coma like California did. Granted, Mexico surely would, probably, if they could, you know, it's just a human thing, it's what we do at this point in our evolutionary history, but I don't want to step on all this stand everywhere. You know, if they could afford to, they probably would. There's a lot of development going on, but you know, it's not altruistic preservation. It's just preservation because no one's been able to get out here yet, because it's, I mean, it's a fucking desert. It's not like this most of the time, you know. There's very little incentive to come out and build a, you know, it costs a lot of money to build tract housing and retail slums over everything, which makes me wonder why America continues to do it. But I guess it pays off in some way. It's an investment. Look at this, these sheets of selenite. Look at it. That's window grade gypsum calcium sulfate. This is nice. Oh, there's more petrified wood. Here's some fossilized snails and other little shelled creatures, shelled bits. Wonder what layer they're washing out of. Jesus. Oh yeah, that's nice. So it was terrestrial for a while, and then at some point it went into the ocean, got covered with ocean for a while. Sea levels receded, maybe it was uplifted, maybe it was buried. Who knows what the shit was going on with the continents, you know? Everything moving around. Tectonic activity. See, holy shit, that's nice. That's a nice little snail. Spiral snail. I wonder if this is older or younger than the layer with the wood in it. Oh god, that's cool. Is that almost looks like a recent, I can't tell. These ones are definitely fossilized. They look like marine snails. The sandstone from the layer above the petrified wood, that log. So there's our log up there. Here's another bit of a log. This looks a little bit better petrified, more together. Jordan excavated it a little bit already. Cool to see. We are, of course, going to leave this here and make no allusion to where it is, so no creepy collector can have this in their collection. But again, you can see those fibers. It's got fibrous material in there. Like it wasn't perfectly permineralized. Maybe it was. I don't know. God, it's so soft though. Jesus Christ. It's cool. It certainly feels like maybe a calcium sulfate. Good old gypsum was the replacement mineral. Ah, it's so wild. What were those forests like? Sorry, this nice grass I'm going to have to pull. Still didn't find out what species this is, but it's everywhere, and it's quite beautiful. It's quite dainty. Oh, could you see that? Could you see this? What were the leaves? No leaf impressions, nothing else. Just a couple logs. So bizarre. Paper mentioned the presence of oil canals in the wood. All the different families it could be in Anacardiaceae, etc. But I think it did. They did come to the conclusion it was in Lauraceae. I forget the name of the genus that they described, but it was really well-written paper. Whoever did it, but you can see there's just pieces. So the wood is coming from up there, from that layer, and then the snails are coming from down there. So there was an ocean, and then who knows how many millions of years later, it was terrestrial. So it was a coastal area. It went from being a coastal area to being forested at some point. And then that comet came along and ruined everything, and a party was over. And it changed the whole ecology of planet Earth. That's when angiosperms got a stronger foothold. A lot of conifer lineages got knocked out with that KT extinction or whatever they're calling it now. It's a nice log. Let's go check out, see if we can find some snails. The Allen's up there filming the log, and then we got the snails coming out of this exposure down here, but still with lots of selenite. So that selenite, that gypsum, of course, indicates to me that I think it just probably came out of a marine sedimentary layer. I just found a nice, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's a nice shell. Mid-Cretaceous shell, and where are these dated to? Ah, that's cool. Wonder what species. It was really having a heyday back then in the coastal areas of ancient California. There's some nice little bits. It's a cute little snail. It's a different species. This seems to be the predominant one. And this over here, well, it's turritella. Looks like, oh yeah, Jesus, God, they're everywhere. Really exposed right here. Oh yeah, wow, that's cool. Gotta be taking some photos too. I'm just taking a lot of video. Again, my colleges, they don't care about plants. Look, he's being so rough with them. All these little annuals trying to cut it on that hillside. Look at this. This is a fancy lad. Right there. Look at it. He's got some embellishments on his spirals. Some little ridges. Were there ammonites swimming with these above these guys while they were hanging out? I bet so. Where are the ammonite fossils at? Oh, that's nice. Look at that. The Eriogonum. Perennial Eriogonum. Shrub Eriogonum. With the nice Facilia right there, too. How old is that guy? 10 years? 20 years? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Spiritualrecharge.com. You're not going to be... You won't feel like committing homicide. You look around the world we've created, makes you want to puke. Everybody's an asshole. It's fine. Put it down, meditate, come out here, take a spiritual breath. Spiritualrecharge.com. All right? I'll narrate the fucking ASMR for you. More of that wood, more lags. We got a fuzzy stink bug down here too. Where you going? Why do you get fuzz on you? What's going on? Oh yeah, look, he's wearing a coat. He looks hairy. He looks like a hairy little nut. That's cute. We got desert blooms. We got hairy stink bugs. We got selenite. We got everything you need. We got Fossilized, Stant, all the nice stuff. Whatever you want, we got it. If we don't got it, you don't need it. Oh, these guys just came out right from there. What the shit? You got more logs right there. Terrestrial ecosystems through time. Though those are marine too. Terrestrial and marine ecosystems through time. Look at this. Some of the Coriocarpus everywhere. Nice little annual. There's snails. This is a big fucking log. This was a piece of... There's probably a shit ton more in that hill. I'm really curious now. I'll put the name of the species, or the genus at least, in the caption. Assuming that's what it is. Look at that Facilia. That's lit up. That's nice. Full of shit. There's shells up here too. In the layer, maybe the layer above the wood. I can't tell. You know, everything, you're looking at a arroyo, everything's getting washed down there anyway. God, look at some of those beasts. Crazy. Cretaceoussnails.com. Jack's really excited right now. Look at those, look at the Badland formation. It's the whole landscape slowly eroding. This is all disturbed. I wonder if that has anything to do with the land being disturbed. Surely this was probably dominated by cacti, like you could see in the distance over there. But somebody cleared it with the intention that they were going to farm it. That's why it's mostly dominated by Malva neglecta and a host of other invasive weeds. God, the moon looks good. And so once the large shrub cover and scrub wasn't around to hold the landscape together anymore, it looks like it slowly started eroding away. I mean, I could be completely wrong too. Maybe that was already there. It's kind of hard to believe though. It's hard to believe that there was nothing here and it was just barren until someone cleared it. But this whole hillside's dominant. I mean, first off, it's all conglomerate and it's a lot of rocks that look like they've been rounded and spent time in the ocean. So probably this was the ocean front at some point. But then it's dominated by ambrosia, Chenopodiafolia, got dicholostoma, and you got lycium, and then of course there's that mirabilis popping up. You got some creosote up top as well. Kind of hints at how the lush nature that we're looking at now is very temporary. It probably gets very hot and rough here. There's that ambrosia. We need to get some nice money shots of the flower. It's such a dominant plant. 2 different species of lycium, ambrosia, dicholostoma, mirabilis. There's that lycium right there. You could see those little flowers, the wolfberry. Nope. Goddamn. See, look at this stuff though. This is old. This is just old beach cobbles. I guess it could have been fluvial too. It could have been, you know, from a river, but doesn't really look like it. Looks like the shit you see on a beach in certain areas. What do you find? You find a mushroom? It's a Coreopsis relatives, yeah. It's got those caliculae subtending it. Very filamentous foliage. Yeah, I've been seeing that guy. Species that's not as predominant. You know, Jordan's. I think he's getting sick. He says it's just the ambrosia. I think you're getting sick. Hey, don't blame it on the ragweed. They're not even. You know what? That might be true. This species was around a lot too, but not as much. It seems that's the real predominant banger right there. But I get so curious thinking about what these fucking ecosystems were like, man. You know, it's not about collecting this stuff. The shit just falls apart. I might take a rock home, take all kinds of rocks home, you know, because I can study them later. I remember where they all come from, but I don't go nuts. I think it's actually kind of fucked up when people sell stuff. You know, learning is the main goal here, you know. But anyway, my point was, it's not just about collecting stuff. I don't collect stuff. I might take 1 or 2 pieces of this, but it's really about taking good photos, documenting it, and then, you know, trying to figure out the age, what formation it's in, looking at a geologic map, and then trying to imagine what those ecosystems may have been like. Because that's the really fascinating shit, you know. That's what really blows my mind. God, you know. And then, of course, just the greater context. You know, one point this was an ocean when, you know, the fucking days, the day length on Earth at that point was slightly shorter than it is now. There were slightly more days in a year. Completely different cast of animal species living on the planet then. Just such wild shit to think about. And now it's a desert. You know, we're doing this whole human race to nowhere thing. It might not end well for us unless we clean up our act. But, you know, the whole context of everything is what's really important. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there. All right? Have a great day. Go fuck yourself. Bye. Say bye, Alan.